She's a real estate heiress. She's also a fashion entrepreneur and the star of one of our favorite TV shows, Celebrity Apprentice. Please welcome back to our show, the lovely Ivanka Trump. Dressed.
Oh, well, thank you.
I understand everything here is from your Ivanka Trump line of clothing and accessories.
Almost
well,
everything.
Except
not
for
my
your
skirt.
wedding ring. Oh, not your skirt.
My wedding ring, actually, my husband worked with my jewelry team, so to create something that that I would like, obviously.
You look good.
Thank you.
Motherhood suits you well.
Yeah, it's just pure exhaustion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just fighting through it, but it's been so much fun, and now. My daughter Arabella is 16 months old, so I thought she was fun.
Look at the personality.
I thought she was fun at 3 months, but in retrospect, it's relatively boring. Now it's really fun.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I'm chasing her around the house. I don't get a minute of downtime.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's the
personality kicks in.
Oh, you really see it now.
Yeah.
It's so much fun, and she started to identify words and surprise me because I try and keep certain things away from her, and lately she's been yelling cupcake. I'm like, when did you get cupcakes? So I think that's my mother-in-law. I think she's busted on the cupcake.
Yeah. Now, we know that you are very busy as a working woman. Do you have an at-home office, or do you make a clear separation? This is home, and then I go across town, and there's office.
I don't think when you're working within the context of a family business, there's such a thing as a clear separation.
Yeah.
I think, that's part of the challenge, to define that space for yourself and to carve out, the meaningful time with both Arabella and my husband. But no, I have an office in my apartment, but my primary office is at Trump Tower, so I spend most of my time there. The nice thing is I work 2 blocks from where I live.
Oh,
so it's like the
perfect.
Olympics each day.
Yeah.
A meeting suddenly cancels because of, a delay at an airport.
Just
and
walk
I
home.
throw on my flats and I just cruise.
Yeah,
I just run home, give her a kiss and head back.
Now, you and Jared have recently celebrated your 3rd wedding anniversary.
Our 3rd, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And a birdie told me that you learned how to cook after you got married.
Yeah, well, right around the time I actually got engaged. So I was a total incompetent in the kitchen.
Who said that
I
you had
probably would have Googled how to boil an egg.
Yeah.
At that point in my life. But I thought it would be a nice thing. I'm always looking for sort of ways to psychologically unwind and relax, and I find cooking to be really relaxing because especially when you're not good, you really can't think about anything else. If you have multiple pots going. And so in the early stages especially, I was so literal. I'd read a recipe and I'd be like, okay, I'd be measuring out the amount of salt to put in as opposed to just throwing it in and praying for the best. But it was really fun, and now,
It's a nice thing to do, though. I think that, because women are, so big in the business world these days, Exhibit A, many of us, I think, throw away the spatula and the ability to make at least 5 good dishes because we feel like we're working. Why do we have to cook?
You know what? There's something also that feels very
feminine
to me about being able to do that for my husband. So, just the ability to come home and be able to offer him that, once a week, and to be able to cook a dinner for us as a family.
Yeah.
Arabella's quite funny because she's now indicating clear preferences. So, my husband is much nicer to me when he doesn't like something. She just throws it on the floor.
Of course. Of course. So
I think that may have discouraged me earlier in my cooking days, but.
So what's your take on Elmo?
So Elmo, it's funny because I viewed all of these characters equally. I didn't have a strong preference, and obviously as a little baby, she could have been drawn to Big Bird or any of them, but she went to Elmo like a fly to a flame. Like it was wild. She just loved Elmo from 4 or 5 months old. So I really hope this Elmo situation gets resolved and quickly.
So you want Elmo to stay, and they just get a new puppeteer to.
You know what? I try not to prejudge because we don't know the situation yet, and it's sort of all unfolding as to what's happening. So I'd like to believe that this is not actually true, and that somebody wasn't taking advantage of minors. If that ends up being the case, I think we need a new puppeteer.
A new puppeteer.
But I don't think that, children of the age that appreciate Elmo, thankfully they won't understand or grasp the sort of backstory here.
What does your father say about it?
I have not talked with my father about Elmo recently.
Well,
But if you would like, I'm heading back to the office after this. I can bring it up.
we follow him on Twitter. Your father, it's no secret, Donald Trump is very outspoken about everyone from President Obama to Cher and most recently to Halle Berry on Twitter. Is there ever a time when you and your brothers are really embarrassed by your dad?
You know, well, it was recently reported that we had some sort of intervention with
I saw
him.
that in the newspaper.
It was so silly because it would have been so easy to pick up the phone and call one of us to actually confirm whether or not that had transpired, and we would have told them the truth, which is that it hadn't.
Yeah.
But I mean, part of what I love about my father, and especially in a juxtaposition of a world where everyone's so nervous to say what they're actually thinking. You're not one of those people. I had so much fun watching you.
Thank you.
Watching you talk about hot topics.
Thank
and
you.
You know what? Half the people are going to agree, half the people will disagree. It is what it is. But so few people are actually able to articulate what they're thinking. And I think it's why my father was such an incredibly powerful force in this most recent election. Because he said exactly what he was thinking that other businessmen didn't want to talk about. It wasn't in their interest to talk about China. You know, it wasn't in their interest. So, you know,
talk about Cher.
I would never, yeah, it's not my place to tell him not to be who he is or correct him. And I'm enormously proud of him. And I love him very much. So.
Well, he certainly is an interesting guy, and of course we love your Celebrity Apprentice show that you all do together. Now, I remember last holiday season you were here to talk about a very cute and informative and a helpful charity. Cookies for Kids Cancer.
So I'm incredibly excited about this. I've teamed up now for the second year with Cookies for Kids Cancer and glad to really celebrate the holidays and to figure out a way, you know, people during the holidays, they bake. They participate in bake sales. And how can we add a philanthropic element to that?
Yes.
So if you go to cookiesforkidscancer.org, you can register a bake sale that you're having, and you'll actually earn money for every cookie that you sell or exchange at that bake sale.
Oh, so you can do this in your community?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's great.
And it's amazing because all of this money goes towards pediatric cancer research, which is obviously, you know, for all of us mothers in the room.
Yes.
You know, I can only imagine how difficult this is. So, you know, hopefully we push further and further and find a cure for cancer and pediatric cancer.
Yeah. All right, so you're looking for something great to do for the holidays. For more information on Cookies for Kids Cancer, log on to wendyshow.com.